Ja gut, nonetheless als bei MTV Spin, Herrschaften, heute ein Besuch, auf den ich mich sehr freue, John Frusciante. John, welcome to the show. How's life?
Fine.
The reason why you're in Germany anyway is your new solo record, Shadows Collide with People. Very wonderful, peaceful record when you listen to it. And of course we have to talk about that. I'd say we start out the show with a video by your band, the other project you're doing, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Can you remember the first video ever that you have seen on television by the Chili Peppers?
Well, yeah, when I was a little kid, I saw Tree Men Don't Kill Coyotes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Apparently, they never showed it on MTV, but they must have shown it once because I saw it on MTV. I just turned on the TV, and I used to watch MTV a lot, but I remember turning on the TV and there was the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I had a guitar teacher who auditioned for them on guitar, and for some reason I thought he auditioned for them on bass, and when I saw Flea playing bass, I automatically saw that this was not somebody who could be replaced, and that was my first thought was, that doesn't make sense, that guy can't be replaced. and then I realized he auditioned for guitar and that.
All right, so if they played it once, then it's time for a second play of True Men Don't Kill Coyotes. So I'd say we played.
Oh, okay.
When I listen to your record, then it's a very innocent approach to playing music and to expressing your thoughts, and that's more childlike than anything calculated.
Right.
What you get nowadays. Yeah.
Well, I write music and I play music with a certain kind of curiosity, like a child. It's not it's not something I do with the adult in me. It's something I realized a long time ago that I have to play guitar with the same part of me that played with my blocks when I was a little kid, or that played with little dolls when I was a little kid. That's the part of me that should be playing guitar, not the part of me that desperately wanted to grow up and then was happy to become an adult or anything like that. That's the part of you that sucks, you know?
What would you say, how did your guitar play in general change or improve over the last couple of years? Is there a different approach when it comes to playing in general or playing melodies especially?
Well, it's changed a lot since the time of this album, but I would say at the time of this album, I was thinking very much in terms of what the interesting things I could do with chords and interesting ways that I could sort of add texture with the guitar. And I wasn't thinking in terms of being a soloist or anything like that. I was much more interested in just creating colors with the guitar by using interesting combinations of notes to make chords. So that, and when I did do lead type things, I was more interested in just playing a melody rather than playing some kind of riffs or something fast or something like that. I was more interested in just playing a simple melody, and that's the way my playing is on that record.
Right, and I'd say we play another video, the most recent one. You start in Fortune Faded by the Chili Peppers. Kommt dann jetzt. It looks like it's meant to be that way. Yes, with this charming man, I thought we squeezed that one in because I've heard or read somewhere that you really like the Smiths.
Yeah, not only do I really like the Smiths, but I really love that song as well.
That's a funny video.
I can't remember what the video is.
It's more say in a flowers
and stuff,
lawn, whatever.
Yeah.
Looks very neat. Now, when you listen to Shadows Collide with People, then you're obviously a huge fan of harmonies.
Yeah, I love backing vocals.
Yeah. Does that come from, like what you just mentioned, like 60s, 70s, maybe surf, soul and pop stuff?
There's harmonies in most kinds of music. a lot, there was a lot of good stuff in the 60s and 70s. But I've always got my ears open to hear harmonies in, when I hear what people started doing with backing vocals when soul came around and when funk came around and things like that. It seemed completely rooted in what was going on in 1958 to me. So for me, it's important as a musician to always get to the source of things. So if I'm listening to a funkadelic record or something and getting off on the backing vocals of that, to me, it's interesting to go back to a group like the $5 and hear that's where that sound comes from, and that's where funkadelic is coming from when they're singing these kind of things. For me, it's never been enough to just be into an artist that I've found out about or that I've heard. Once I find out about them, it's important to me to find out who they like, and then to find out who they liked, and so on down the line.
I've read the first reviews, then there was one comparison that struck me a few times. You were named in one breath with Brian Wilson. And the link the writer made up was that obviously a journey through oblivion can enhance your creativity. That was the theory. Would you agree?
Yeah, but if it's during the oblivion, then there can't help but be a downfall, which is, I think, in the case of Brian Wilson, he was his period of creativity was during the oblivion part, right. so he couldn't help but go downhill, and I sort of had to experience that, but it wasn't seen by the public, because when the music on my first record was recorded, I was really going downhill. And when I listen to the record, the last half of the record goes in the order that it was recorded, and I hear myself going downhill more and more. And I really like the sound of it. Like, the most downhill part of the record, the last couple of songs are my favorite ones, but it was the end of me playing music for a long time. And for about 5 years, there really wasn't much music inside of me or coming out of me. And, but once I got myself together again, and once I started really getting on a new path in life, and once I stopped regretting things and things like that, I really, my life started moving forward, and slowly but surely the songs came back to me, and I started writing songs again. And at this point, I've just been, writing an awful lot of songs for the last 5 years, so so I'm growing in that way, and I suppose my songs come from the perspective of somebody who's been through a lot of different states of mind and seen a lot of things that no one ever expects to see, and been through a lot of things no one expects to ever go through. And it all goes into my music. That's where the depth to my music comes from, is that period of time that I wasn't actually accomplishing anything or doing anything or even seeing people or anything like that, but I was gaining a lot of experience in life and a lot of material that I would eventually write songs from. Confused as I was when I was 22, having the experience of gradually becoming a total failure and having nobody in the world care at all what I did, or what, having not even being able to make people smile anymore, not even being able to make my friends smile anymore, just being completely a symbol of failure. And then gradually working myself up to being able to actually make people happy again and be able to play music again and do all this has just been a really good experience for me. And I think I have a clearer image of myself now, and it's an experience that a lot of people who are famous rock musicians don't get the chance to be, because all they do is get very famous and then fight to hold on to their fame. Right. And for me, I let go of it and went downhill. And then when I came back, I think I was in a much more even place to where things don't affect me that same way, and I don't run after it for any sort of egotistical gratification. I play music only to make people happy and to make myself happy, and it has nothing to do with me wanting any kind of egotistical gratification.
So you're feeling comfortable with fame nowadays?
It's fine.
Good to hear. Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't chase it, you know what I mean? If it wasn't there, I wouldn't go running after it, you know? But while it's here, I'm perfectly happy to go along with it.
You're friends with the band, you're friends with Omar, and I think you're also doing a project together, right?
Yeah, I played guitar and treated his guitar with my synthesizer on the song Cicatrice on their album. And Omar is making a solo record, which is a soundtrack to a film that he made. And I play a lot of synthesizer and guitar on that, and I sing one song. And, you know, he's my very close friend, and him and me and Flea are also gonna make a record, in the next couple of months. We wrote a lot of songs. We wrote a song each, actually, while we were on tour with each other. And they're kind of like instrumental, progressive rock songs, I guess you could call them. And so, with lots of like intertwining guitar parts and things like that. So we'll be recording that. I would imagine his solo record will probably come out sooner than that. And his solo record actually has some of my favorite stuff that I've ever done on it. It's really a good record.
In general, would you say
they're a great band? You know, for me who started playing music because of punk, but who quickly became very attracted to progressive rock like King Crimson and Genesis and things like that. It's really exciting to have a band like Mars Volta who's fusing those things, because you know, it's just, to me, they always seem like they were from the same spirit, punk and progressive rock. But punk has all this credibility, and progressive rock is kind of you know, put down all the time and even laughed at and stuff like that. And I just, you know, to me it's such brilliant music. I'm glad to see Mars Volta really like giving it a good name, you know.
Especially seeing them live is spectacular. Like, if it wasn't for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, would you say that you were a solo artist and just doing regular records, or do you need the Chili Peppers to be in a position where you can like compose music in between?
It's hard for me to say. I mean, I know if the Chili Peppers stopped, I'd still continue making records. But the fact that I write music at all, the fact that I play music at all, has everything to do with the fact that 5 years ago, Flea and Anthony had faith in me when nobody else had faith in me. You know, they believed in me, and my guitar playing made them smile when I couldn't make anybody smile. You know, they really believed in me, and it gave me the strength and the courage and the focus to really do my best to get back into making myself the best guitar player and songwriter that I could be.
Right. What is your favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers video?
I guess either Can't Stop or Give It Away. One of those two seem to be pretty equal to me.
Can I pick one? Then it would be Give It Away. For the end of the show, there's one quote that I found that Stephen Perkins said, also a good friend of yours. He said there are few people that can go to the spiritual places John does and come back and tell you about it. He's a good piece of magic. And I found that very accurate. I don't know you in person, but as far as I can tell by your music, that says a lot.
Right. Thank you. I don't know
Thank
what
you.
you want me to say.
Yeah, it was just a thank you from my side to yours.
Right.
Thanks for the record, thanks for the music.
Oh, thank you.
And thanks for joining me on the show.
Is that it? Okay. Thank you.
Dann kommt jetzt das letzte Video, die Red Hot Chili Peppers, Give It Away.